What's up, dudes? Welcome back to Duty's Daggers. I think I'm gonna show you. I was kind of like thinking about what I wanted to do for the video today, and I was looking through my knives as I was picking out my knife for the day, and I saw this, and I think I've showed this maybe once before, but this is really cool, and I kind of want to compare this to newer Spydercos because it's really interesting the difference. This is the first ever release of the Spyderco Police, and it came out in 1984. This is an original from 1984. You can see it says Police right there, and on the clip, interestingly, it says there's a patent number on the clip. It says U.S. patent, and then some numbers, foreign patents pending, and other patents pending. So I don't know if that's for the clip or the whole knife. I'm not sure. But I know that they had a patent on the hole for a while at least, interestingly. So this is pretty cool. It's a full stainless steel, very heavy, you know, shiny stainless steel. It's got the trademark hole. It's a tip down only clip here. It's a lock back. Check this blade out. Full serrations, very skinny, pointy. Pretty crazy looking knife, but this is what Spydercos used to look like. The blade steel is ATS 55, which I had never heard of. It says down there on the ting. The pins are all hidden. They're all like, you know, peened over and then polished. So there's no adjusting the pivot, you know, there's no taking the knife apart, nothing like that. This is not coming apart. The action is decent. Not as good as their lockbacks nowadays, but I mean, I mean, I can let it drop really easily. It's not really a flicker. Actually, you know what? I can thumb flick it. Can I reverse flick it? Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, not really. I can barely thumb flick it. But I don't think that the hole was really for flicking back then. I really think it was just for rolling out. And it's really good for rolling out, better than a thumb stud, you know? You just put your thumb in the hole, and then the blade kind of rotates around your thumb. There's no need to like make sure you're on the thumb stud. You put your thumb in the hole, and it rotates around your thumb. It's just easy. It's big too. I brought my Shaman for comparison, and you can really see how they've changed over the years. The Police is a lot longer. At least this model, and a lot of others too. I have this old Blade magazine from the 80s, and I was looking at some of those old Spydercos. A lot of them are really kind of long and skinny in this dimension. Nowadays, they've gotten much fatter, wider this way, the blades and the handles, and I think that's interesting. You know, it is better cutting geometry to have it this way. That's probably why, you know, they evolved over the years and realized that this blade shape was not as slicey, not as good for cutting. You know, when you have a broader blade, especially with a full flat grind, it's just gonna slice better. Even if you got thicker blade stock like on the Shaman, it has a lot of time to taper down to get pretty thin behind the edge for good slicing. The hole also looks smaller. Yeah, the hole is smaller on the Police. Yeah, the size of the holes varies even today with the new Spydercos. Just depends on the knife. Obviously, we don't have a compression lock on this thing. I'm not sure when the compression lock was invented. I'll have to look up the date on that. But this is 1984. Pretty cool. Now, another thing about having this full stainless with no texture, it's really slippery. Very slippery. I would not want to handle this in the rain or, you know, working and got grease on your hands. That would be not good. Really slippery. Also, you know, having the tip down carry makes the clip in a bad position for ergonomics. You know, it's right there. right where you're wanting to grip. So, you know, I wouldn't say it's hurting my hand, but I definitely feel the clip right there. Overall, the ergos are not as good nowadays because they're broader, wider. It's just better ergos. Just fits in your hand better, you know. It's real thin too. Really thin. I got this in a trade, and I forget what I traded for it. It was a long time ago. I just thought it would be cool to have, you know, a piece of Spyderco history. The clip is pretty. Actually, I don't have an original clip on my Shaman, but it's a little different. But it's definitely reminiscent of their clips today. Very reminiscent. Same kind of, you know, deal. Now you could still buy this knife. It's not an original for one from the 80s, but you could still buy this. Pretty much, I think it's pretty much exactly how it is here. Stainless steel construction. And obviously they have updated versions of the police as well. I don't know. I don't think they have choke-up spots now either. I don't think they ever did. It's more of like, you know how the Delica has no choke-up spot, and you just kind of, you know, grip the knife like this all the way up to where the blade starts. It's kind of like that. Now they didn't come in all serrations. They had some plain bladed versions as well. This is a pretty mean serration though. I mean, those are some fat serrations. They still feel really sharp too. This was definitely used. You can tell by the all the little micro scratches on the stainless steel. This was definitely carried and used. I believe the guy that I traded it from said that it was either his dad's or his grandpa's knife when he was a cop in New York in the 80s, and that's really all the info I know. I guess this would be pretty good for if you're a cop. You know, you're probably not. It's probably for a lot of like self-defense sort of things, but also like maybe cutting seatbelts, cutting, I don't know, ropes. I think a full serration might be good for a police officer. If I was a cop, I would probably, I mean, I would have a plain edge, let's be real. But I could see it. I could see it being pretty useful. Definitely for like a first responder, you know, like an EMT. I believe they make special, I think even Spyderco makes special knives for EMTs. But for that application, you don't want a pointy edge. You want more like a sheep's foot with the serrations. Because if you're like reaching behind a seatbelt to cut it, you know, having the sharp tip is not good. It's gonna snag and stab people while you're trying to get them free. But if it's a sheep's foot, you can easily slide under it and, you know, pop the buckle, the seatbelt or whatever you're cutting. So pretty awesome. ATS 55. I'm not sure how good that is, but honestly, with serrations, you're not really going to be resharpening them. So, you know, you want to have good edge retention, but you're not going to be sharpening, I don't think. I mean, do you sharpen serrations? I know there's a way to do it. I think it's like a little round file. You kind of have to do it by hand. There's no like fixed angle sharpener that can be used for that kind of thing. So, I don't know. There you go. Interesting comparison between old and new Spydercos. I much prefer the new ones. You know, much prefer. I really don't like long, skinny knives at all. I like more wide, stumpy looking blades. There you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video before you head out. I'd appreciate that a lot. See you next time.